What's going on, guys? Gamster here, coming at you for a game review today, which I did do on my other channel, but I'm doing it on this one because this is my actual channel, my only channel. Now we're going to be talking about Dead Rising 4. I beat it the other day, and when they did say the gameplay, I do apologize, it's no longer there. My videos got deleted because I had to deal with some stuff, but the game was actually very well done. I wasn't too happy with the ending, but let's just go ahead and talk about that. I'm going to give a review over it. I may not go into the full story anyone that has not played it, but if things I will say, there are going to be spoilers. It takes place years later with Frank West. He has a dream about himself, basically how he used to be to how he is now. He is satisfied with it, but he's not satisfied with it. He's a professor, I think at a college. He's teaching students how to do filming as well as be a camera person or cameraman, camerawoman, whatever. And his pupil Vic, she is asking him to go somewhere, and they go somewhere, and they're going to Willamette, which where Frank West is famous from anyway, because this is the first zombie outbreak. And he is told by Vic that she has a contact that is laying to get the men in the military base of secret experiments. So he's like, what the hell are you doing? She says, come on, don't you want to be Frank West again? And everything like that. So they go in, and they soon realize that the government is doing experiments on the subjects in there. They're making their own personal zombie soldiers, and Frank is back in the game, but Vic, she can't take it, so she starts shooting up the place, and she pretty much leaves Frank high in the dust. And he goes into an undercover area. He makes up a fake name, and then some guy from the government finds him, and he's still teaching a night class on video on how to be a better cameraman and everything like that. And he tells him, don't you want to be better and everything like that? And he says, well, I'm not interested anymore. He says, well, you're gonna let a student get the better of you? And he shows him that it's Vic, and she's in Willamette, and there's a big zombie outbreak, and the government's trying to hold down to it. And Frank goes, last time I went up against that, he says, they did that. He says, I went against them. He says, in the Pentagon, and they buried me. He says, that's because you didn't have the right information and the right people to help you. He says, let me help you, he says, don't you want to do better than this? He convinces Frank to go. Frank goes, and they're in the helicopter. He gets shot down. They are in Willamette. They're in the mall. And he is now back in the game. He starts going through the files and everything throughout the story of what Vic's been up to. Vic has been there for weeks, and he needs to catch up. He needs to get the drop on her. He says, okay, it's been a while, so let me get the best of it. He starts going through the files, meeting people along the way, and he basically, what happens is that later on in the story, he finds out that the one that invented it, Dr. Barnaby, his house is there, and this group that is being led by mercenaries, they want to create their own zombie soldiers. So Frank, knowing Frank, he's going to get the big scoop. He wants the big scoop. He wants to be able to become Frank West again. He wants that fame. He wants that respect. He wants to basically know he's no longer a jerk-off. He wants to be that person again. He wants to be a better man. And he wants to have all that fame and all that respect, and everybody stopping like, oh, Frank West is back. And, you know, Vic, she doesn't care anything about that. She just wants the story. She just wants to know, like, look, these mercenaries are doing this to these people, and she's using anything by necessary to get this information. She's contacting the mercenaries. She's talking to the resistant fighters. She's talking to everyone that's wanting to go up against the mercenaries. And Frank is doing everything he can to catch up, and he's meeting mercenaries. He's meeting the ones that's wanting to go up against him. He's saying that it's not a good idea for her to be working with mercenaries, but Vic does not care. Vic is after the story, nothing else, and she wants to be the one to exploit this terror, these people are going through. And Frank, he just wants a story. He just wants the fame, which I understand his point, I understand Vic's point. So later on through the story, you personally find out that the government is trying to create their own zombie soldiers with them controlling them, and one of the ones that they used to first go after this research, him and his team released a higher dose of the zombie outbreak, and they got killed, but he had an exoskeleton on him, and it made him more stronger, faster, and a zombie, but more crazy, to where he still knew what he was doing and what he was talking about. So that really took me for a loop, and I was like, wow, because I've already seen the gameplay, I've already seen the story online. I just wanted to experience this for myself, and as a person that really liked the Dead Rising franchise. I really wanted to play it, and you later on through the story you beat the character and you finally get the information, but the information gets destroyed by the character that you're going after, and you have no choice but to get rid of it because he puts a grenade on it, and you finally go up against the character and you finally beat him. And then you have no choice but to get out of there now because you've got your, you've saved the ones that you become friends with, you have helped the ones you become friends with, you have gone through all this information, you have the information, you just have no evidence. Then you soon realize Vic has the evidence, and you're like, okay, how did Vic get the evidence? And she basically took the SD card from the camera and got it before he had to chunk it, and he says, your slide. So then they come up, okay, 50-50, that they are willing to go on there together, and they try to escape together. And when they're fighting the zombie horde, Frank gets lost in the horde after he has to sacrifice himself for the other two to get away, and Vic does the story on her own, and that is so-called the end of Frank West. Now, I did not like the ending. I hated the ending. I was like, really going to kill the best character in the game? And honestly, from what I read not that long after the game came out, there was going to be a DLC. There's still supposedly going to be a DLC of Frank newly bitten and has to chase a way to get a cure. Now, that's pretty much going to be like the first one, to anyone that did not play the first one or anyone that has not played this franchise. Now, honestly, I really hope that they put that in the game where because my thoughts in the other one that I did have on my other channel for Dead Rising 3, that Isabella from the first game, she did have something to do with the outbreak in the third one, and possibly in the fourth one, not sure, that's just a theory of mine. It'd be really awesome if they brought her in the DLC, or maybe in the fifth one, if they are going to do a fifth one where Frank is still alive, and they gather Chunk Green, and they gather everyone that has survived to work together to finally just destroy the outbreak once and for all. So in this DLC, I think it's going to be much like the first one, from what I did read. There may give you a time limit due to that Frank is bitten in the original story. For this one, they did not give you a time limit, which I was very satisfied on. I'm going to go on gameplay here for a second, and graphics. Graphics were amazing, gameplay was amazing, all that customization, killed random zombies. It was unbelievable, because who doesn't like killing zombies, right? It was just a lot of fun, and just a lot of fun things to do, man. I mean, because it took place around Christmas, which was amazing. You had more crazy serial killers. You had more space to adventure out, which I didn't really do that much on. I mainly focused on the story. I just really wanted to get the story because I wanted to try to get as much videos as I can for you guys. And I really enjoyed the like them just bringing Frank back, but then the way they're not really killed him off, but they kind of stopped his story, really pissed me off. But if they are willing to bring him back in a DLC and actually have him survive, then I will be happy with that, because we all know he somehow got the cure to begin with. But really got me was, okay, how's he going to survive this if they don't even know about the new outbreak? Because with the zombies being smarter, they're able to be more stronger, faster, everything like that. So it's going to be really interesting in the DLC when it finally does come out and finally shows gameplay in the story of what Frank's going to do, how's he going to survive, how's he going to get through this, because everyone now thinks Frank West is dead. And he basically sacrificed himself to make sure that this story got out. So now it's going to be his job to get out of there before the government either bombs the place or he dies becoming one of these things. So it's going to be really interesting like the first one, and I really enjoyed that because I played the hell out of the first one. The first one was one of my favorite games for a very, very long time. Like I said, Frank West is my favorite character. I'm really hoping they do in the fifth one with him as well as everybody else, because I really wanted Isabella from the first game and the third game, because with her becoming like that, I never thought that they were going to bring her to be a villain in the third one and actually process that to be like, okay, well, I'm like, wow, man, like Isabella's a villain now? Like that, it astounds me, because I really liked her as a character. She was really into her own roots, because she was so against the zombie outbreak in the first one, and then next thing you know, she became the worst thing she became. And her and Frank had a good connection in the first one, and I was really hoping that they were going to put that in the fourth one, but they didn't. Hopefully they're going to put that in the DLC or the fifth one. If they do a fifth one, there's no confirmation yet. We're going to be getting a fifth Dead Rising, which I hope we do, because we do deserve one. because Dead Rising brings a new feel and vibe to the zombie franchise. That's just my take off of it, because I really think that it does astounding work as a as a person that really enjoys playing zombie games, as like zombie lore, culture, and everything like that. I really do like it, because at first I was really hesitant on playing Dead Rising because the main thing that everyone likes is Resident Evil, but I really think Dead Rising brings a new league of its own. I think it really brings in something fresh every time when something is played, because you got the customized weapons, you got the customized vehicles, you got crazy humor, you have crazy zombies, you have a crazy story, you have so many different things you can do. It is very like you're well in it, and I think that's a great thing that Capcom does, excuse me, for this franchise and for this game, because it's just a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, it may not be the best review, but that was my review. I think it's a great game. I give it maybe a 8 out of 10 for the story, for the gameplay, and for everything else. I really am looking forward to the DLC. So nevertheless, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, slap a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, as well as comment down below what you thought about this video, and also all my links can be down in the description below, and let me know if you're ready for the new Dead Rising. Well, let me know what you think about the Dead Rising, this one. What do you think about the DLC we're getting? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Are you gonna hate it? Or do you not like how it happened? Who's your favorite character in Dead Rising? Mine, obviously, Frank. Yours could be different. Could be Frank, Chuck, or the other dude. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But obviously, Dead Rising is doing well for the zombie community, and I think that everyone did enjoy the game to an extent, except for the ending of the game. So nevertheless, guys, I hope you guys again enjoy this video, and I will be making more videos for you guys. I will be doing more game reviews for you guys. I like doing these type of reviews, and I hope you guys enjoy them, and I like enjoying making good content for you guys. But anyway, have a good day, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.